Hi, Lindsay. Thank you so much for doing
Wow.
this again.
Yes, I'm super excited and nervous and excited and all the things.
Yes, awesome. You should not be nervous because you always do great. So, no worries at all. But for those who have not heard your first episode, I would love if you could fill us in on who you are, your background, all of the things that you want to share with the audience.
Yeah, I tend to be an oversharer, so I'll try to keep it simple. So, my name is Lindsay. I'm a mom of three boys. My oldest is the one who was a horrendous sleeper, and kind of got me into trying to find help from somewhere. And that's when I was able to stumble upon the Cradle Coach. And so, I joined the Cradle Coach in August of 2024. It seems so crazy. It was so long ago. And then I graduated in November of 2024, and then I started my business, CP Bear Consulting, in December of 2024. Crazy.
Yes, I know it's gone by so fast. It is. It's wild.
Yes.
So when we talked the last time, well, not that we haven't talked, we talk all the time, but when we
Right.
recorded our first episode, you were only about 2 months into your business. So it's been a while, and I would love to hear what it feels like listening back to that version of yourself. Like it just feels like, again, it feels like it was so long ago, even though it wasn't
Yeah.
really that long ago. So what does that
Yeah.
feel like to you?
It feels weird. First of all, I don't like listening to myself, so I listen to it like once or twice, but then I tend to over critique. But it's like baby Lindsay consultant. I don't know. But like seeing how fast things moved then, I thought it would just be like, oh, it's just my first month kind of just starting out fast. It'll like slow down, and it really hasn't. So I'm even busier now than I was then. But yeah, it's so crazy. If I could go back and tell her like, just wait and see. This is not just a 1 month fluke, like it's gonna get
Yeah.
wild.
Yeah, that is so exciting. That's the best feeling ever to be able to know that like things have just continued to be consistent and
Yeah.
continue to be crazy and exciting. And I totally understand where you're coming from. I think about even for me now, having been in business for several years, like when I look back, even whenever I first took over TCCA, I'm like, I knew nothing. Like I feel like I was a completely different business owner, and that
Yeah.
wasn't even that long ago. And you just grow so much. And I feel like business ownership is the biggest test and biggest challenge whenever it comes to just personal development because it puts you so much out of your comfort zone in so many ways,
Yes.
in
You
good
don't
ways,
just
but also
Yeah.
it stretches you, right?
Right. And you don't just hit a mark and it's like, oh, I've learned everything and now I'm good. Like it's a continual growth from month to month. I'm like, well, I wish I had known that a couple months ago. Or, you just learn and adapt. But it's nice because it's your business. So you can control anything about it that you want that isn't working. You can shift and change in the moment. And that's what makes it so nice is you don't have to answer to anyone else. So when
Yeah.
things aren't working, you change it.
Yeah. That's my favorite part.
Yeah.
For sure.
I like
So,
control.
me too. Yes, absolutely. I don't think that anyone can be like a really, really strong business owner if we don't love control. It's just like part of the job description, I feel like. But
Hmm.
yeah, totally. So, what is the biggest thing that you would say has surprised you in this first year of business?
I would probably say all of the referrals that I'm getting from other moms. Like, I knew I was making a difference the time that I work with the moms, and then, of course, we end, and you kind of just like, the conversations slow down. But I was just chatting with a mom before we joined, and I worked with her daughter 10 months ago. And she is still like, you changed my life. Like, she's 18 months now, and you did it when she was 10 months old. And just seeing all the differences that have been made. And then constantly, she was talking about a referral. She was going to send me a referral, mom. And just all of that has just surprised me. Every single time I get a referral, I'm like, oh my gosh, I really made that big of an impact on them that they're still
Mhm.
continuing to tell other families about me when it was so long ago that we worked together. It's just
Yeah,
amazing.
it is. It's the best. I mean, that is really a testament to you and the service that you provide and the relationships that you build with people and the impact that you make on people. Like I know whenever I reached out to you recently about doing some support with TCCA, you were like, "What? Like you thought of me?" And it's like I don't think you even realize. the impact that you make on people. And it's just really cool that you've been able to leverage that without intentionally even trying to leverage it, but leverage that natural skill that you have. And it's translated into a wildly successful business. Like literally, Lindsay, today had one of our really successful graduates that graduated a couple years before you reach out to me, and she said, how is Lindsay getting so many clients? She only has like a couple hundred followers on,
You
I don't
know,
know, social media. And I was
Instagram.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, I was like, well, like it's relationships
It's a
and
hundred
it's
percent relationships.
yeah. And that's what we always talk about.
It's true. You
So I
have
love
to make
it,
a
but
connection
like,
with that family.
yes,
You have
yes,
to.
yes.
That's
And that is,
amazing. Instagram's not my jam. It never has been. It's very intimidating. But yeah, Facebook, talking to my local community has been
yeah,
huge.
yeah, yeah. But I think you would surprise yourself. And like, I think that you would do amazing things on Instagram too.
So yeah, I
Whenever
know
you
that.
decide,
Ooh,
whenever you decide that you are ready to step out of your comfort zone even more and get out there and follow the little Instagram challenge that we have going on,
I know. I
I
know.
think that you will see even bigger moves in your business because again, like you're just great at connecting with people, and Instagram is a way to connect with people on a broader scale. So,
Yeah.
anyway,
You have a good way of pushing me out of my comfort zone. Yeah, and it's like, fly, little birdie, you got this.
yes, because you
Take
do.
away all the fears. You know,
And I think that that's the thing that, like, I know we're going way off script from our questions, but
that's
I
what
think
we do.
that's the thing. Yes, I think that's the thing with like entrepreneurship in general and like with sleep consulting in general. It's like using indicators, past indicators of success to prove to ourselves that we're capable of new things, and not just looking at like, well, I haven't done this thing yet, so I'm probably not going to be good at it, and instead saying like, well, I've had a successful corporate career, so I'm pretty sure I can figure this thing out even if I don't know what I'm doing today. I
Yeah.
can figure it out with the right guidance, with the right information, right? And I
The
always think
right
about
mentor.
like, yes, but I always think about too, like my first day in every job. It didn't matter if it was like the same type of work that I had done previously. No
Hmm.
matter what, like those first days, those first weeks, like you're intimidated and you're nervous and you don't know what the heck you're doing and you don't know anybody, and you figure it out. You put one step in front of the other, and that's what it is with everything that you've done, and that's the same thing with Instagram.
Yeah.
So you
I'm
can
gonna
totally
do
do
it. I
it.
promise. I'm gonna do it. The week that you'd launched the challenge, I was sick, so I was like, I am not going on there looking a hot mess and sounding like a man. So now that I'm feeling better, I'm gonna take one of the days that I look kind of like this, and I'll film some stuff. So
Yes, you will. And I'll put reels out of this conversation too.
yes, there
So
you
there's
go.
that.
See, make my
Yes.
makeup and my hair worth it. You know?
Yes, absolutely. Okay, so was there a moment in this past year where it felt like things clicked and you were like, okay, yeah, like I'm actually really doing this. This is real. This is a real business. This is really working.
I feel like I have that moment every time I book a new client. And then I go into like, thinking, and I'm like, oh, I do have this, So it's like a constant thing that you have to build your own confidence, like daily, So you kind of can question yourself, and that's just an internal thing that you kind of can battle with a lot. But yeah, I started to feel a lot of traction after the first 6 months in business. I was able to like adjust my prices and be able to like truly set a value on the services that I'm giving that set me apart from like other consultants in the area. So I knew the time that I was dedicating to my clients, and I was seeing the results from it. So after the first 6 months, I feel like it really was a confidence boost for me. And that's when I was like, I can do this thing, and you can see more of a future full time happening. You see more consistency month to month in like income. And that overall just gives you the boost that you can do it. So, and just seeing the changes in your families is like, you kind of give you more confidence that you know what you're doing. So,
Yeah, definitely. And
Yeah.
for those who are listening and didn't hear the first episode, we've kind of alluded to it, but we didn't really directly talk about it. But you earned back your investment super quickly, like 5 or 6 weeks
Like
after
6 weeks.
graduating.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so
And it
it
was
was super
January too.
fast.
And it's
Yeah.
January, which is typically like the worst month in business when you're like in a small business. Everybody's
Yeah.
recovering from Christmas. People aren't like big spenders, that kind of thing. And January this year was also a huge month for me.
Yeah.
So I think
And
parents are
January is
just wanting a
typically
chance.
busy. Yeah. January is typically busy for sleep consultants, but you started in December.
Mm-hmm.
And December is usually the worst month for sleep consultants.
Yeah.
And then you went into
Yep.
January and made it back like
And it was
right in the
busy.
middle of
Mm-hmm.
January. So
Yep.
you've kind of hit the ground running from the very beginning and then it just hasn't stopped. And
No.
yeah, like you said, about 6 months in, you did the price increase. We've talked a lot about price increases and how
Yes.
much I recommend them all the time because I just think that so many sleep consultants and probably business owners in general, but I do think it's more prevalent in sleep consulting, that we undervalue the service that we provide and the transformation that we provide. And so I was super proud of you for increasing your prices and really valuing again the transformation that you provide for families because it is not small,
No.
and that is obvious from all of the referrals that you get from all of the families who
Yeah.
continue to love you and reach out to you to this day.
Yeah, and it was a lot of my previous clients who told me, like, girl, I cannot believe you charge what you charge. Like, you charge way too little for everything you gave me and like the time that you dedicated to me. And that's crazy coming from a paying client, like, oh, you should have charged me more, you know?
Yeah.
And a previous client who's now become like a best friend of mine, she is like a leader in like the small business world of like investing for a bank. And she tells me like all the time, she helps encourage me too. And she's like, you really need to hold value to what you do because people think if you charge like the lowest price out of everybody and you're the lowest quote, then they're just going to automatically choose you. And that is not the case because they're thinking, why are you charging so low? I'm not going to get any kind of value from you versus the one who's charging more. Like they immediately devalue what you're going to offer to them when you probably are going to dedicate more time. So learning to see value in myself and my time and everything that I dedicate to my clients is where that came from. So it wasn't just, oh, I'm doing great, I'm getting good results, I'm going to up my prices. Absolutely not. Like I bumped it up to truly value what I give to my clients. And some of them have told me I should charge more, but I'm not going to do it. So
Yeah.
I'm
Maybe
happy where I'm
eventually.
at. Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe
maybe
eventually.
eventually.
You never know.
But yeah, no, I agree that is like the biggest confidence boost, having past clients say
Yeah.
this is so worth so much more.
Hmm.
So again, super proud of you.
Thank
So
you.
what does your day to day look like? If you could share that, because I know so many women who are thinking about becoming a sleep consultant. Like I literally get the question almost every day of, can I do this while I'm working full time?
Hmm.
And I always tell them absolutely yes, because I did it and so many of you all do it. And so I would love if you could share what that looks like and how you juggle everything with 3 kids and the business and working full time and everything else that I'm sure you have going on in your
Yeah.
life.
I have a wild life. 3 boys, just trying to keep them alive on the daily that's a job in itself. But yeah, so I do work full time in the health insurance industry. So that's a 40-hour week. And then I have my business, which is pretty much like a full-time job that I'm running. And then I also work part-time. So very, very busy, but I is totally doable because the good thing is you can control your availability. You can control how many clients you take on. I haven't had to turn down any clients because of my full-time job. Does that mean some weeks are a little bit busier than others? Yeah, but to me, it's worth it. So anyone who is listening who's like, I work a full-time job. There's no way. I don't have any time. I'm raising children. I'm having to cook dinner. Like, when am I going to fit this in? You totally can do it because you can control just even an hour out of your day makes a huge impact on your business. And even on the down times, like when I don't have a specific client or have so many clients a week, then I will focus on like the foundation of my business. So I'll focus on social media. I'll focus on editing my plans and my packages and preparing. So that way, when the next client message me, I'm ready to roll. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, my days are busy, but I'm still able. I took my boys to the park tonight and they played while my son had baseball practice, and I was able to get some work done on my phone and still enjoy my day to day with them.
Yeah.
So you can completely control your day. So it's totally 100% doable because I've been doing it for over a year. So
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
successfully. So yeah.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that because the amount of women that reach out to me and they're like, I've been thinking about this for 2 years, or I've been thinking about this since my first child was born, and that was 3 years ago. And I'm like,
Hmm.
you could be so far along right now. Like, there's just this limiting belief around time because we all are super busy, right? Like, there's no getting around that. We're all super
Yep,
busy. You were super busy before you started this business,
for sure.
but you find the time for the things that you are excited about and that you value and that are important to you. And obviously, you're getting a return on investment for it. It's not
Oh
like you're
yeah.
just doing it for fun, even though you do love it.
Yeah.
But still, it's a huge benefit to your life to have this in addition to everything else that you have going on.
Yeah. And that was me. I know I talked your head off through voice chats and all that stuff when I was debating on can I do this? Should I do this? The investment and am I sure I'm going to make my money back? And, all the doubt that kind of creeps in. Um,
Mhm.
can I juggle this with 3 kids? Like, I'm the kind of person when I take on something, like I give everything I have to it. So I want to make sure that it's something that I'm capable of doing. But then I had my company was threatening layoffs and they dissolved my whole department at work that I put 7 years into building was just gone. So that is what pushed me. And I was like, you know what? I am so sick of working for someone else's benefit. And then as soon as the numbers don't line up on their side, they just drop me. Like I like turn down chances to go do things with my children, school events, stuff like that, because I was so dedicated to my job, for them to not even truly know my name, when they go to let you go.
Yeah.
So that was like, you know what? I'm done. Like they told me that in May of 2024 that our whole department's gone. And then I messaged you and I was like, let's do this thing because I have to take control of my own future and follow my passion because if I don't now, I'm never going to do it.
Yeah.
And I do not regret it at all. So I had to have that push to make me do it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that makes total sense. And I have chills because it's so relatable. And like, even if nobody's ever been, or even if whoever is listening has never been in that exact situation with layoffs and things like that, it's still just like giving every ounce of your energy and your everything, your talent and everything to a company that really, at the end of the day, doesn't care. And even the ones that do, because
Mhm.
there are great companies, even the ones
Yes,
that
there are.
do,
Hmm.
you're still working so hard for somebody else's
Someone
bottom
else.
line.
Yep.
And in what we do, and this is like one of the best things of what we do, but in what we do, the overhead is so low that like
Mhm.
our profit is our profit for the most part. Obviously, we have to pay taxes and
Right.
there's that, but in outside of that, like the overhead is so low that it's truly, it can be transformational in such a small amount of time every week.
Absolutely. Yeah, just a
Yeah.
couple clients can completely take over and go beyond what my normal paycheck is.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. It's
yeah, it's
amazing.
huge. It's huge. So when they told me, of course they pulled their mess again saying, oh, more layoffs are coming. And then they told us there's a return to office because I work remotely. And they were like, oh, well, you're going to have to return to office. Well, that doesn't really work for most mothers out there. When you work from home, you're used to having your groove, and you're there for your kids and you have to line up childcare and stuff. So when they're threatening that you have to come back into office within a certain time frame, that's very scary. I
Hmm.
finally looked at my husband and I was like, I'm not doing that. It's not happening. And he was like, well, go for it. I've been telling you to quit forever. And I'm like, well, I got to make sure I'm ready for it.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
the one, he would have signed up day one to be a sleep consultant like that. He just makes that decision. And I'm like, I have to go back and forth and twist and turn.
Yes. So
But yeah,
funny.
so
I'm more
I
like
didn't have
him.
that fear. Yeah. So people like me probably get on your nerves.
No, not at all. I understand it because my husband's that way. I understand it and I get it. Like it's a big decision and it's not always a good thing for sure. Like I tend to just make decisions really
Yeah.
quickly.
I gotta
especially if
reel
it
him
feels
in
right.
sometimes, bring
Yeah.
him back down to earth and let's think for a second, before we make a
Yeah.
drastic decision. But it was nice to be like, you know what? I don't have to do that. I'm not controlled by them. They can't force me to go work 40, miles away from my home and now I have to commute all this time. And, I'm able to say, you know what? I'm not going to do that. I can just leave that behind if that's the case, and I will just move forward with the business that I've already built that can only imagine if I was able to give all my 40 hours, that I've been dedicating to another company to this. My Lord, I could not
Yeah.
imagine what it's going to look like.
Yeah. Super exciting. I can't wait to see, but we'll get to that in a
Yeah.
second. Um, so on the flip side of all of these wonderful like rainbows that we're painting, what part of the work has actually been harder than you expected?
It's going to probably sound cheesy, but it's true. It's really been saying goodbye to my clients. Like
Yeah.
having to end with them. I try to drag it out, honestly. Just because I get so close to the moms and like I get up and I check my phone and I get to see cute little pictures. And when we get to the end, I'm like, yeah, your kid's been sleeping for a week now, but it's time for us to say goodbye. Like this is hard. So it's like we try to make play dates or touch bases or whatever, but that really has
Yeah.
been the hardest part is trying to cut and be able to move on. But we still stay in communication. So yeah, that's been
Yeah,
the
and you
hardest.
just rolled out something new that could
Yes.
actually allow you to continue to stay in touch without feeling like you are going outside of like what your boundaries should be, like
Right.
for pay versus no pay. So
Yes.
do you want to tell us about that really quick?
Yes, so I actually started an extended texting program, which is a subscription on a monthly basis. And my business is called Sleepy Bear Consulting. So I'm calling it, and I don't think I've even told you this, but I'm calling it my Bear Cub texting support, which I
Yeah.
just think is cute. But, anyways, so it's a way, it's only going to be for clients who have actually worked with me on a VIP plan. So it's not just like a brand new mom. Like we got to have that base time that we've worked together, but it extends it where they pay a monthly fee, pretty low just to kind of make it reasonable, and then they get to contact me up to a certain amount of days a month. So they don't feel like once we say goodbye, they never have me anymore. Because kids can get sick, kids can have regressions. I have a mom right now who signed up a week ago and she's traveling to Great Wolf Lodge with her daughter. And we just finished like a week or two ago. And she's like, I really want to take you with me. And I'm like, okay, well, great. I just started this new program. So she signed up for it and she's going to use me while she's traveling. So secretly, maybe it's a way I can keep in contact with my clients. No, I'm just kidding. But no, it's really nice to be able to have me in their back pocket. So in those
Yeah.
moments they need it, their child's sick, they're having a regression, they're trying to reduce naps, whatever is the case, they are already paying and they can instantly message me and say, hey, I'm having a rough day or we're having, this happening tomorrow. I'm going to need you. Okay, great. You've got me, so,
Yeah.
and it's been
I
really
love that.
beneficial for the moms.
And that was something that came from our momentum group, right?
Momentum.
From
Yes.
another sleep
Huge.
consultant who shared it. And we were all like, wait, what? What are you doing? That's
I
so
was
cool.
typing so fast. I was like, I have got to write down everything she says because I am rolling this out. And I rolled it out within like 2 weeks of her telling it.
Yeah.
Yep.
So cool. I love that group.
Huge.
But
Yeah.
that's a whole other topic, but it's the best. Okay, so I would love to hear your answer to this.
Lord.
What do you think separates the people who build this into something real versus the ones who don't?
I would probably say you have to have passion for it. Because honestly, if you're not there, if you're not ready to be there for that mom who's texting you in tears in the moment, and you're not prepared to be there for her and give her the answers and support that she needs, then this might not be the right thing. But if you have a passion for this, and I've always told you from the beginning, like I get that burning feeling in my stomach, like
Yeah.
this is what I'm meant to do. That is what is going to separate you from everyone else because you will find a way to support every family that you come across. Yeah. So that
Yeah.
passion, you have to have a passion for this. You can't just get into it because of the potential income or like all that is totally doable. I'm living it, but you have to know what you're doing and be able to deep dive into the program and learn everything you need to know, give your volunteer clients everything that you have, and you're going to be successful in this.
Yeah. I agree. I actually recorded a reel about this topic today that you will see me post tomorrow with this shirt on. because I like on a whim, I recorded it because I had gotten two or three applications in a row that were a little disappointing because they were all about money, and they were like, I just want to replace my income and I just want to make money, and this sounds like something I can make money with. Like it
Yeah.
was all about that and nothing about what I'm looking for in the application, which if anybody's
Hmm.
listening and they're about to apply, they're going to hear what I'm looking for. But I'm always looking for, like, yes, I want to know what your goals are. Absolutely. Because that is a huge part of this, right? But I want to know that you actually care about this work. Like, I want to know that you actually care about transforming families' lives and making that mom's life easier and that dad's life easier. And so, yeah, literally just talked about this today, and I'm recording, or I'm putting it out tomorrow. So love that answer. And then I would also add, because I think that this is something that you have done really well and that truly can make all of the difference with somebody being successful or not, is being willing to reach out whenever you need support.
Hmm.
Because I have seen so many where, like, I have no idea that they're even struggling. And then it's, 6 months later, and I'm hearing from them that they've been struggling for 6 months. And I'm like,
Yeah.
if we had talked 6 months ago, like, we
You
wouldn't
know,
have this huge gap to fill. We would have been able to make incremental changes that would have, like, not led you to this point. And so I think that that is another huge piece of the puzzle, is just being passionate. Is like, if you don't have that, let's not even start.
correct.
And then from there, you have to be willing to reach out for help. That is literally why we are here. And the women who come into our community and are constantly posting and constantly asking for help are the ones that are successful, and the ones who stay quiet and stay behind the scenes are the ones that are typically struggling and just not telling us that they need help. So
Yeah,
that is,
always reaching out is huge. And I've done it multiple times. I'm like, hey, I have an odd situation. I have this or that. Can I get your advice on it? And then the programs that you offered with like the momentum, that has been a game changer
yeah.
for me and a lot of the other, I almost said moms because I say moms all the time. All of the other consultants in that program, because you learn so much. What one other person might struggle with is maybe where you thrive. So you can actually help pick them up where they're struggling, and then areas that you're not so good at or you're insecure or struggling, they can help you in that. So building a community is huge, and that's kind of what
Mhm.
I tell the students too, is when you graduate, you're not just done and on your own flying. Like, yes, you're doing your own thing, but you have this whole community with you for any kind of questions or concerns or things that pop up. Because I mean, we work with families, they're all unique. So you're always
Yeah.
going to face something that you've never faced before, but I can guarantee one of the other people in the program has had it, and they can give you the advice of what to do and what not to do because of their learned experience. So reaching out is hard to do, and that's what I tell my moms, is that it's really hard to raise that flag and be like, you know what, I'm struggling, I really need some help. But
Yeah.
once you can overcome that, you're good to go. Nobody's
Yeah.
perfect.
And we expect that from the moms that we are here to help. Like, we need them to raise their hand and say, I need help. And we need to be willing to do the same, because we all, like, it's not even about, yes, it's about the business and about sleep consulting and all of that, but any part of life, like, we all need support in every part of life. I will always have a
Absolutely.
mentor that I'm working with in my business. Like, I cannot not have somebody that I'm leaning on,
Yeah.
because there will always be things that I'm just like unsure of, or that I've never faced before, or like mindset in business is a constant thing that we're all dealing with. And so,
Yes.
yeah, there's just a definite need for support and community and being willing to ask for it whenever we need help.
Yeah, because they'll definitely get you where you need to go. Somebody else has faced something, if
Mhm.
you're having a couple months that are rough, speak to someone and they can give you advice to kind of push you along, and you'll see things turn around.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
So, what do you think that you did in the early days that made the biggest difference in your ability to have the success that you've had and have it so quickly and then have it sustain throughout the last year?
Yeah, so the biggest thing, it always leads back to relationships. Even just with the first 5 clients that I took on as volunteers, I still have them referring people to me. And their babies are toddlers now, but they still remember how much their life changed working together. So, not just seeing how many people you could move through quickly, it's more of who can I talk to? They know someone who needs help, and you're going to be the first person that comes to their mind. So I'm constantly building relationships, and then that also has been huge for my business lately. Also coming from the momentum part is networking. So I have grown my networking so much in just like the past 2 months. It's been insane. But you kind of realize every family comes with different needs, and not everything our expertise can help. So some of them might have feeding issues. Yes, we can help with some of the basic things, but if they have special needs, then you can send them to the like a lactation consultant. You can spot things that they might need to talk to a pediatric chiropractor about. So building that network is absolutely huge, because those are the people that are working with your ideal clients every day. So when they are unable to help them with their sleep, or they're able to route what they normally do to be causing the sleep issue, you want you to be the first person that comes to their mind to recommend.
Yeah.
So, building your relationship with your moms, with your family, with your community, like local coffee shops, that's what I do. And then also the networking partners, pediatricians, all of that. Once they know you and they've seen the change that you can make in their life or someone they know's life, they're never going to recommend anybody else, because you're the name that's going to instantly pop in their mind.
Yeah, absolutely. Love that. Agreed, 100%. So now something super exciting to talk about. I know that you have talked about making this your full-time gig and making it happen hopefully sooner rather than later.
Yes.
And so I wanted to hear what that feels like for you. Are you excited? Are you nervous? Are you scared? Like what does that feel like?
How about all of the above? I mean, I'm more excited than anything, because this has been something that I have always wanted, but it's been in this economy, sadly, that we live in. You kind of need a two-income household. I mean, it's not like the olden days, where you can just stay home and make bread in your apron and the old hubby goes and works. So, but to be able to have a business that I can still be with my children, and run it full time, like, it still seems unreal. But yeah, that's going to happen sooner rather than later, because I am getting too busy. Like, I am pushing myself, so far, and I'm pretty much replacing my other income. So, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm super excited. I am nervous because like growing up and like early on in my years, it was always pushed in me to start at the bottom, work your way up, get into corporate, climb the ladder as fast as you can. Always be the person who says yes, stay late, come in early, dedicate yourself, all of this. And then when you realize how draining that is, and you can actually do something that's rewarding, is a game changer. So, like, of course, I make a difference in the things that I do day to day in my daily job, right? But I don't see that direct reflection. It's kind of passed down the line, but I don't see the people that I'm, impacting in this day to day. Like, I see the text messages, I see the mom sending over the emojis and the GIFs or GIFs or whatever they're called. I never say them things right. But you see them, like, their lives are changing, and literally, like, were on the brink of divorce, and you have brought that back. So nothing beats that. Nothing.
Yeah.
So to be
Yeah.
able to do that full time and see where this goes and like grows even further, and then to do that and still be able to go to all the meetings with my kids. I get to go on field trips and show up for all their parties and not have to ask for PTO, or beg to have a vacation or whatever. Like, that's
Yeah.
huge. Like, to have that control. Of course, here's my control again. To have that control over my own life is huge. Like, the time with
Yeah.
your kids, you're never going to get that back. You can always find another job. You can always do this and do that later on in life. But the times that you're raising your children, is what I told my husband, I never will get that back. So
Yeah.
to be able to still contribute to my household, make changes and impacts in other people's lives while I get to be the one who's there day to day with my children. I could not ask for anything more.
Yeah, totally agree.
It's huge.
Um, it's amazing. It's the best feeling. And yeah, it gets to a point where it's like, as you said earlier, like you can only imagine what it will be like when you're able to dedicate your full time to the business.
Yes.
And it does, it gets to a point where you're like, okay, I've kind of maxed out what I can do while I'm still working full time. Like
Yeah.
I couldn't even really take on more clients if I wanted to,
Hmm.
or I couldn't market more if I wanted to. And so it does get to the point where you're like, okay, like I have to, maybe even if you haven't fully replaced your income yet, but if I leave my job, I'll be able to.
Right.
I can't do that with the restrictions that I have with time. And
Exactly.
so, yeah, it just gets to that point where you're like, okay, I just have to take that leap
You have
and
to take
know
the
that
leap and do it.
what I've built and what you've built is going to be enough to sustain that. And it will be, but it's exciting and nerve-wracking and all of the things, but
Yes.
it's going
I'm
to
sure
be
I'll be
amazing for
texting
you.
you. I'll be like, how did you feel when you left your job? You need to talk me through this.
Yes. Oh, I felt amazing.
Yeah. I know it's going to feel so good to not like have that hanging over you, like,
Yes. Yes.
my God.
Yeah. It's hard to even like now looking back because it's been a while now, but like looking back, I'm just like, man, like I wish I hadn't taken so long to find sleep consulting, but
Yeah,
it is what it is. But yeah, looking back, I'm just like, man, so much time wasted that didn't have
absolutely.
to be, but
Yeah.
nothing we can do
I should
about
have
it.
been like my husband. I should have been like my husband and committed like the second that I saw the post and just jumped right into it. But no, me, I had to take all these months and go back and forth and all
Yes.
these crazy questions. But everything happens in its own time,
Hmm.
but I can only imagine if I had started a year or two before, like
Yeah.
it's insane.
Yeah.
But
It
yeah,
is, but
when
it
it's
does.
the
It
right
happens how it's supposed to be, for
time.
sure. Like you were in the right place and you were ready for it and it all fell into place. But
Absolutely.
yeah, you're where you need to be now and
Yeah.
it's all great.
Yeah.
So, where do you see this going in the next year? Like what do you want in a dream world? What would next year this time look like for you and your business?
Well, I would definitely be running my business full time. So it's definitely going to happen. A big dream goal, which is kind of scary to say, but I would love to get where I can be so busy that I could bring on another consultant, and start to build this thing out. Because I don't want to ever have to turn anyone away because it's just me and I can only handle so much. I would love to bring someone on. So
Yeah.
I think that would
Yeah.
be super duper amazing.
Yeah, it would be. That would be awesome. And I think like it would have to be the right person because
For
you are
sure.
so like, you're so, I mean, as we've already talked about, you're so great at building relationships and being there for your clients and just building these really strong connections. And so it's going to have to be somebody that is like right there with you with the
Yes.
same passion and excitement and, that wants to be able to build it in the same way that you do.
Yeah, absolutely. Just like it's an extension of me, and it's going to be hard to kind of give up that control, but it's like a collaboration thing. Like if they are struggling with this or that, then we're like a team. So,
Yeah.
I would definitely have to see what all of that looks like, but that's definitely a dream goal. But yeah, definitely running it full time. I can't imagine. It's going to be amazing.
Yes. I cannot wait.
Mm.
It is. It's going to
Yeah.
be awesome.
Yes.
So, what do you know now that you wish somebody had told you before you started? Whenever you were back in that, like going back and forth and trying to decide if it was the right next step, what do you wish that you had been told then?
I wish someone had told me, which you probably told me, but that you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to look perfect before you film a reel. You don't have to sound perfect. Just be yourself. People who are coming to you are coming with a need that they know you can fix. So be confident in the skills that you've built, and the experience that you have. And that confidence will kind of just, come out of you. That's what it would be because I thought I had to be perfect. I thought I had to be like the smartest person sounding on social
Hmm.
media or face to face, and sometimes I still get intimidated. Like when I meet with doctors and stuff, I'm like, oh my God, they're so smart. But I'm like, they don't know what I know. That's why we're talking, and I don't know what they know. So that's why we're a good team. So knowing that you don't have to be perfect, don't be scared to put yourself out there. Not everybody will be your jam. But just put yourself out there because you're gonna end up where you need to be and the right doors will open and the wrong doors will close. So just be confident.
Yeah, so true. So, so true. I love it. So, what would you say to the person that I talked about earlier who is like applying now or thinking about it now? And they're like, I've been thinking about this for 2 years, or I've been thinking about this for 3 years, or whatever it is. What would you say to that person who has been literally on the fence thinking about this for years?
Do it. You will not regret it at all because once you see the changes that you make in other people's lives, you will know for a fact that that's what you're meant to do. And once you have that feeling, nothing else will compare. Like your whole outlook on everything changes. So, whatever is holding you back, I feel like a lot of the graduates in the program have proved a lot of those fears to be incorrect. If you have a fear of not getting a return on investment, the majority of them get them back really quickly. So you don't have to worry about that, and just make sure you're dedicated. And whether you're going to be good at it, like we teach you everything you need to know, and you are fully prepared. Like it's not just here's the information and good luck to you. Like the program that actually puts you in the environment with volunteer clients, like real life people that you're helping, is huge because that's where you learn and you grow and you get experience from. So you're not just taught the information and then just kicked out and good luck. They literally build your business and then you are off running and then you have support as you need it. If you're sitting here listening to this, like I was going back and forth, like be like my husband and just pull the trigger and do it because I wish I had done it, all those months earlier. But yeah, you came and you found this area for a reason. Something in your life brought you to sleep consulting. So whatever experience you have, whether it's a mom or an aunt, or a grandma, or like you're a nurse or anything like that, a teacher, I mean, you already have the skills and the experience to already be good at this because you can relate to people. You can see people's problems and know how to fix them. And then once you like align that with the basics of sleep health, nothing's going to stop you. So if you have a passion and if you're listening to this podcast, you're here for a reason,
Yeah.
obviously. You're not just some rando who wants to listen to two ladies talk about how awesome babies can sleep. You know, do it. You're not going to
Yes.
regret it, I promise.
Yes, I totally agree. I think like whenever you keep coming back to something, because I literally had somebody apply today, and I looked, and the last time that she and I had sent texts back and forth was 2024. Yeah,
Wow. Look where she
and
would have been now. That
I
was me.
know,
That
I
was me.
know.
That's
And
crazy.
that's like the hard part for me because I never want anybody to feel like I'm a salesperson and I'm just trying
Yeah.
to convince them to do something. But I'm like, you could be so far right now, and I want to
Hmm.
help you. And like, I think that that's just like the best part of my job is getting to see all of you so successful and knowing that you have changed your life doing this, and then seeing new women come in, and I'm just like, I promise, like you can do this. I promise.
Yes.
It's not an MLM. It's not like
No,
something crazy. It is
no,
a
no, no.
real thing. And you
You don't
can
have to
do
be
it.
salesy in your DMs
Yeah.
and all that.
Oh
Like you
no, not
really
at
just
all.
build relationships. That's it.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
yeah, you don't
So
have to
yeah.
worry about
So
that. That always creeped me out. Like I worked in what's it called? Like retail and you had to like pressure people to get credit cards. Like that was the worst thing ever. That is not this at all. Like I was bomb at it though. I'm just going to say that. But I hated it. I hated every second of it. And that is not this. Like we don't have to sell people like special soap. You know what I mean? Like you're changing the people's lives. So
yes.
you
You're
don't
like,
have to
please
worry
let
about
me change
that.
your life.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, it's super
Yes,
easy,
it's
And
literally what it is.
people will
Yeah.
reach out to you because they know you can help them. You don't have to hunt them down?
Yeah.
You have their solution and they have the problem, and the connection is just made.
Yep. Exactly. Well, as always, this was such a lovely conversation, and I would love if you could share where everybody can find you on Instagram. They're about to start seeing all these reels pop up from you,
I know,
and
right?
on
What we get over
Facebook.
like 200 followers. Come on, people.
Then you get trial reels.
I know. Yeah. So yeah, I'm on Instagram. So hit me up, hit that follow button, baby. Sleepy Bear Consulting. I'm also on Facebook, which is like where a lot of my stuff is driven from. And then should I say my website? Okay, littlebear.com. So you can go on there
Okay,
and
awesome.
check out who I am and packages and all that fun stuff. And if you're someone who's listening to this and you're like, oh, it sounds all nice and good and I don't know what I should do, I'm kind of nervous, message me, send me a DM. I'm sure Marley can give you all my info, and I'll be happy to chat with you because that was me. So you can get real life experience from someone who was fearful and now has changed my entire life because of it.
Yeah, amazing. And yes, we will put all of the info in the show notes so it's easy to click. But again, thank you so much for doing this. I know that so many women are going to feel inspired by your story and see themselves in it and know that this is possible for them too. So I appreciate it
Absolutely.
so much, you taking the time at 9 o'clock at night and doing this with me.
I told you, you're the only one I look like this for at 9 o'clock. Because in about 5 minutes, I'll have on my oversized Mix Max pajamas and I'll be laying in bed watching a crime show. So.
Same. I will be in bed in about 5 minutes, makeup
Yep.
off, reading my book, falling asleep. So,
Yep. Exactly.
well, thank you, Lindsay. Have a good night.
Thank you. You too.